Let's just set this bad boy up here. There we go. All right, so today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about some of the Bibles that I have. I ended up taking back the King James version that I purchased a couple of days ago just because the print type wasn't big enough for me. I know, I don't look that old, but I find that the giant print is actually the perfect size for me. 10.5, not quite there. So I decided to just, for now, stick with this one. This is my King James, and it's kind of weird, but I have the giant print, so I don't even know why I went out to go and buy another one. This one is actually perfect. I think I just like the idea of the newness of it. A black leather-bound Bible is always cool as well. But I actually dug up some of my other Bibles that I have, and I thought I'd just make a quick video about it. So this is my King James Bible. This one here is the Thompson Chain Reference Bible. This is the NIV Red Leather Edition. This one's kind of cool as well. It's got, it's kind of interesting because they have a spine that's very similar to the King James Version. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right across the spine, 5 columns here. It's kind of interesting. And it's black, so obviously they're trying to copy the King James Version. Now, my Bible is blue, and it also has these columns, even though they're worn out. But you'll notice that I also have a blue kind of an edging on this, and most Bibles, like most King James Bibles, actually have a gold trim on it, gold edging. This one has blue, kind of like that. So yeah, so this is the NIV. This one has just basic paper, maybe a little bit pinkish, a little bit reddish. What else do we have here? This one is the Life Application Study Bible. This is also an NIV. This is actually my son's Bible, quite worn in here. I think he has another one at his place, I'm supposing, because this one is here at our house. And then I also have another Life Application Study Bible, but this one is the New Living Translation. Brand spanking new. I've had it for probably, how many years now? Let's see in here. It's a few years anyway. Anyway, I like this one, but the print is very small now. Look at that. Print is tiny, tiny, tiny. So, is this one of the reasons why I jumped over to King James? Possibly, because this is giant print. Here's another version right here. This one's worn in. This is my wife's Bible. This one is, I believe it's an NIV as well, I think. Nope, this is a King James version. Old school. And then we have my classic NIV version, another NIV. This is the one that I kind of grew up on. When did I get this one? This one, 1991. My mom bought this for me. So this is when I was going to Bible college, once upon a time ago. And then this one I already talked about. This is another New Living Translation. This is a hardcover. Kind of cool again, small print, tiny print. The reason why I like my Bible, this King James one, is that it's obviously it's giant print, but there's no notes as well. So that's kind of cool. So the debate is, which is the best Bible? Which is the best Bible? Now, I've been doing a little bit of research into the King James and trying to figure out why I've been reading it so much over the past 7 months, and it's been all consuming. I have, what do I have left? I'll show you how much I have left to read. I'm on Psalm 78. All right. So this This is how much I have left to read on my second pass, which I started about a month ago. So almost 1,900 pages. I have this much to read, which is basically, I'm halfway through the Psalms, and I just got to get to Song of Songs. Almost done. So why is it that I've been able to consume this one and not able to get through all these other versions? What's going on? Is it just the small print? I would say perhaps that's part of it, but if you're going to get a giant print, why not just get an NIV? And I tried reading giant prints at chapters of NIV, and it feels weird. It feels weird because I feel like there's something being left out with these other versions. And like I mentioned, I'm doing a study on why we have the other versions. And if you look in any of the notes, and I'll wrap this video up, they always have a little summary at the end, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I have it here. Yeah. So they always have a little summary at the end of every Bible. The only one that doesn't have that is the King James Version. But here is the New Living Translation. As we submit this translation for publication, we recognize that any translation of the scriptures is subject to limitations and imperfections. Anyone who has attempted to communicate the richness of God's word into another language will realize it is impossible to make a perfect translation. So that's kind of where they're starting at, is with the idea that there is not a perfect translation out there. And I would have to disagree. If you are trying to change this and you're creating another version and you're going, well, there is no perfect translation out there, including the NIV version, they do that as well. They'll say there is no perfect translation. So in my head, I'm like, you have to have a standard. To me, the King James Bible is the standard, and it is flawless. The more you study it, the more you read it, and if you can condense that time frame instead of a chapter a day or even a couple of chapters a day, 5 minutes a day, if you can start increasing that time frame to an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours a day, I know it feels all-consuming, like you might think that's all-consuming, but if you can get into a mindset where you're doing that on a daily basis, what happens is the Bible gets smaller and smaller, and all of a sudden you can see things in Genesis that were happening, and then you can piece things together in the New Testament, and then Psalms start coming to life, Proverbs, all these other books, Ecclesiastes, Leviticus comes to life, all this kind of stuff, because you're pouring time into it. And that's what I'm noticing with the King James Version, which I haven't noticed with any other version. It just feels like it's painful to get through 5 minutes of reading. Now it's all encompassing. So it's just an interesting thing. I don't know how else to explain it. I was nervous jumping into the King James because I thought, oh man, I'm going to get bogged down in thous, this is, these, thous, and all this kind of stuff. But it's actually the opposite. I actually find it enriching. So hopefully that helps someone to decide, like if you're a brand new Christian or whatever, maybe give the King James, the original King James, 1611, the authorized version, a chance. Try it for a month, see what you think, start reading it every day, and see if this doesn't consume your life for the better. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.